Successive year, with Roscommon winning big in Carrick-on-Shannon last season. Indeed, one would have to go back to 2000 for Leitrim's last Connacht championship win over today's opponents. And it was Roscommon that started in a blitz, scoring 4 unanswered in the early stages, and by the 6th minute this Donald Smith point helped Roscommon into a 4 points to no score advantage. But that gap was down to a single point as Leitrim scored a goal with their first meaningful attack, as Jarrah Rooney shrugged off the attentions of his marker and fairly fizzed a shot past Colm Lavin in the Roscommon goal. Roscommon's Donald Smith, having kicked an early point, was then black carded in the 13th minute by the Wicklow referee Anthony Nolan. But Kevin McStay's men shrugged off that loss and scored their opening goal in 16 minutes. Leitrim keeper Brendan Flynn saved well from Enda Smith, but the rebound fell kindly for Conor Devaney, who drilled it to the net to give Roscommon a 5-point lead. The same player got Roscommon's second goal 3 minutes before half-time. Dara Murta did the initial set-up play before passing it to the in-rushing Devaney, who emphatically dispatched it past Brendan Flynn in the Leitrim goal, and at half-time it was Roscommon leading 2-9 to Leitrim's 1-2. And there was to be no let-up in the Roscommon scoring spree in the second half either. Just seconds into the second half, Enda Smith carved his way into the Leitrim defence before fisting over a point to extend Roscommon's advantage. Roscommon had the chance to get their third goal of the afternoon 10 minutes after the restart, but Kieran Murta blazed a penalty over the crossbar. Having conceded 6 unanswered in the second half, Leitrim did have the consolation of raising the white flag as Brendan Gallagher popped over a point in the 50th minute. But the game was over even at that point, and Roscommon took their foot off the pedal, although Brian Stack scored some really nice points from play. Roscommon in cruise mode now. Leitrim supporters were heading for the exits long before the final whistle sounded at the Hyde. Leitrim tried hard but just had no answer to a rampant Roscommon, who eased their way into the Connacht final on a scoreline: Roscommon 2-23, Leitrim 1-9.
Again, I suppose I spoke about Division 1 playing Division 4, and that was the difference. They brought more intensity to the game, and I'm just very disappointed for our own lads because they put in a huge amount of work and they just didn't justify themselves there today. So I'm very disappointed for the lads themselves.
We planned obviously beyond Leitrim. Any team manager has to do that. So every day is accounted for, John, and it needs to be, because this is the challenge of our lives now, going up to Pearse Stadium to play Galway.
So they're heading up to play Galway. I mean, that was all they could do was win comprehensively today.
It was as expected. It was a Division 1 team playing a team who came 5th in Division 4, 17-point winning margin. And you know, there's a different right. Agreed that Roscommon had a poor league, and agreed that there's a lot of players gone who should be still making themselves available. But last year they put all their eggs into one basket for the league, trained savagely hard, and they imploded by the time. This year the preparation was always going to be gearing up to a Connacht semi-final, Connacht final. So they're probably coming right at the time. I'll just say 2 things about it. I mean, it's crazy in one sense, isn't it, that you beat Leitrim and you're into the last 12. I mean, by the time Roscommon have entered the championship, 4 teams have already exited the championship. But can I just say one final point on the championship as a whole? So far, it's been, despite the prophets of doom and gloom, it's been an enjoyable